Great. So today we'll be finishing our last half of the English session in the afternoon at 5 Central European time. We'll be having our Spanish sessions up until 7. And then soon after, we will begin our Portuguese sessions. So right now, we're just going to have a panel discussing living with IRD and sharing experience among generations with Cecilia Vasconcellos, who is a psychologist from Brazil and a person with LCA, David Sánchez, which is a person with RPE 65 and is the president of Retina FARPE and part of the Retina International Board, and Christina Fasser, who is a person with RP and is a part of Retina Suisse. But before we begin, David has a few words to say. So whenever David is ready.
Yeah. Thank you, Laura. Yes, just from the board of Retina International, just give you again the welcome to everybody to this second day of the Retina International Youth Council. It's a pleasure for us have this opportunity and share with people from all the world this conference. For us, young people is really important, and have the opportunity to share with them, to stay with them, join this meeting with them. It's really important because they are the future, and as well because here in this platform, using the online connection and using Zoom, we have the possibility to engage with young people from all around the world. And for Retina International, we are working hard in order to have a multilingual community, and to be inclusive, and to stay really near with all people living with IRDs and or with another conditions related to the retina. So just say again, welcome to everybody, and we hope that we enjoy this second day. And that's all. If you want, Laura or Marina, we can start with the panel.
Yep, that's fine with me. So go on.
Sure. So welcome, everyone. I just would like to say that this is a safe space. So if you want to use the chat or unmute yourself to ask any questions to our panelists, David, Christine, and Cecilia, please be free to do so. This is really an open space for all of us. We are recording so we can share it on Retina International Media afterwards, reaching out to more people. You can also enable the captions if you want. I know most of us are blind or legally blind, but I also know some of us might have a hearing challenge, so you can enable captions on the toolbar. It is just below. If you have any other accessibility requirements, just let us know. We want to make this space as inclusive as possible for all of us, and as pleasant as possible as well. So today we are conducting this panel that we call the lived experience. So sharing the experience as someone living with an inherited retinal disease among generations. We invited two brilliant, amazing people to join us. So I think it's a great opportunity just to be here, listen to what they have to say, because I'm sure they have a lot to say. And I think the main goal, it's really to share this experience and learn with each other. So I prepared some questions, but I would like to start inviting you to present yourselves. I know Laura has mentioned your names and where you're from, but I would like to hear from you briefly, like who is David, who is Christine, and who is Cecilia? And you can choose the order you want to say. Who wants to start?
Maybe the younger of the panel, who is me. Oh no, sorry, is Cecilia. Just Cecilia. Let's start. Come on.
Okay,
Okay.
Cecilia.
I can start. Uh, Hello, everyone. My name is Cecilia. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm from Brazil. I am 29 years old. I'm a psychologist, a PhD candidate in Federal University of São Paulo. I study Labor congenital amaurosis and autism, and I am a person with LCA. My gene is the RJ12, and I participate in the Eyes on the Future. It's a group only for people with RJ12. And I like so much meet people with the same problem as me, the same condition. It's not a problem. And that's it. I think this is me.
Okay. Well,
Okay, nice. Thank you, Cecilia.
thank
Go
you,
ahead,
Cecilia.
David.
And come on. My name is David Sánchez, and I'm from Spain. I'm 48, and I live with an RP condition, which is caused by RPE65. And now I'm retired because of I'm blind. I have to tell you that just 3 months ago, I was treated with Luxturna, but in my case, and my degeneration was too big, and at the moment I'm not feeling anything special in my side. But I have to wait. I have to have hope, and maybe in the nearly future, maybe I will have some good news. I like football a lot, for example, talking about sports, and I'm studying at the moment in a university degree. I'm studying history, and in a few weeks I'm going to start the last course, and it's something which I have always wanted to do. And 3 years ago, I thought it was the right moment, and I started this degree, which has been really wonderful. The only negative thing is that I have to do lots of exams and work, but I'm enjoying this degree a lot. I'm learning a lot. And talking about NGOs, I'm involved in Retina Murcia here in Spain, which is a small organization include in FARPE. FARPE is a national alliance which includes 10 organizations from Spain. It's 30 years long, this alliance. And I'm in the board of Retina International since 2020, and really happy to be here with all of you. Christina.
Thank you very much. It's interesting, David. History was one of my wishes to study when I was 20. Now I'm 72. But at that time, I was unable to do it because technology was so bad that I couldn't access the sources, couldn't go into the archives and read the things. So I'm still a history buff.
After the meeting, if you want, we can chat about it.
Yeah. So just to see how things have changed. I'm Christina Fasser. I'm 72 years old. I'm living in Switzerland. And I just see the huge difference of technology and accessibility that has been made since my time, when I had to decide what I wanted to go to learn, what I wanted to work for. So I'm living in Switzerland, in the mountains. I have 2 siblings with also RP. We were diagnosed with RP in 63, so 1 year ago. Turned out that we have LCA, CEP290, which is doesn't make really a difference for us, but it shows also that medicine and diagnosis has changed immensely. I'm a person which is very curious. I like people. I love languages. I always said I'm a little bit like a chameleon in the world of Retina International because I enjoyed so much to switch from languages, to talk to people, to learn to know people, and to learn from people how they live. So I'm interesting to see how our living experience will go on. So you have asked Marina about our way, how we went forward, or what things really impacted me in my development. So as a matter of fact, I had 3 different, absolutely very different professions due to my disease IRD. I started to be advertisement manager and publicity manager, worked for international projects and accounts. Also already at that time, I was specialized for international things. Then I had to change because I couldn't see the colors anymore. And that was a no-go at that time. And so I changed to the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, where we worked for developing countries. We were developing institutes of food science in Latin America, Africa, and Asia. And then once again, my vision stopped completely. So I had to change. And I was lucky enough to be then to work as a social worker and CEO of Retina Suisse.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, the three of you, to present yourselves. It's really interesting, Christina, to know how resilient and adaptive you have been over your life. I think we can explore a little bit more there today. And I would like to say that Murcia, where Davi mentioned, it's a lovely city. I've been there last year, and I love it, the city. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a really nice city.
Thank you. Thank you.
Go ahead.
No, let's go.
What I really liked on Murcia was the system for crossing the streets. You can use your phone and a Bluetooth to know when it's safe for you to cross. You showed me that it's really fantastic in terms of how, when we start thinking differently about technology and put that in our daily lives, how can we create actually this universal design, remove the barriers, and promote accessibility to all of us. So that example was really interesting for me.
And there is, by the way, a very good app. It's called Ampel Pilot for the crossing. So you just take it up and then it will tell you when it has found this light signal, and then it will tell it when it changed from red to green and safe to walk over.
Wonderful. Yeah. Here in Spain, lots of cities, as Marina said, is using, it's putting a new system which works with the Bluetooth of our mobile phones. And when we are nearly to light traffic, it makes a noise, and the light traffic as well makes this noise. Yeah. So it helps you to cross the road safer. Yeah. And it's something really nice because I thought about this meeting, I was thinking about the difference between generations and how our life now is easier than people who were blind, for example, 30, 40, 50 and years ago, and even before, So now, losing our sight is something bad, something we do not like, but using the new technologies is something that makes our life better today. And for me,
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree, because when I was studying at that time, I was depending on people that were reading things to me or reading it on cassettes. There was no access via electronics.
Yeah.
And I was together with some people, and we organized the first exhibition in Lugano about a speaking computer in '82. Computer at that time were really nothing for everybody. It was just in development, and we could do that together with IBM. But we were working at that time with a Commodore and a cassette recorder.
Oh,
You imagine? So computer
yeah.
really became efficient only around
I
95,
remember that, but
96.
yeah, I remember that, the Commodore or
Uh-huh.
Spectrum, other type of computers. Maybe Cecilia and some friends joining the meeting, maybe they do not know
I
what
don't know what it is.
Commodore or Spectrum was. There were the beginning of the computers, you know, for me at the 80s. We were playing with Commodore or Spectrum.
Mhm.
They were the first
Yeah.
computers at home. So you can imagine, wow.
And you know, when you had a computer with 10 megabytes, you were
Wow, yeah,
very proud
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
that was
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
good
yeah.
one. And that's
Yeah,
why
yeah, yeah.
with the old systems working, it really made you work very efficiently. And
Yeah.
Marina asked me what was very important in my life from taking up opportunities. And I took up the opportunity when I was working at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology. I was one of the first to have a computer because of a speech output. So I took up the opportunity to be a power user in the department and to teach my colleagues, sighted colleagues, how to use the computer, how to program basically things, etc., which gave me afterwards a very good position professionally.
Wow.
You know, that's
Wow.
taking up the possibilities. Sometimes blindness offers you opportunities that
Yeah.
you wouldn't think, and having out a look of this, I think that was a very important strategy in my life.
And how about you, Cecilia?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
was
God, a
about
lot
to
of
say
things
thank
I'm
you, Cecilia.
thinking now. But I think here in Brazil, there isn't an app for cross the street. There is, I don't know. I think it's not only about the technology, the different
No.
technology generation, but the use and the opportunity to access the technology. Because here in Brazil, I perceive a lot of people suffering a lot because I can do this, I can do that, and the people really don't know that there are a lot of technologies to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say to the people who are doing technologies, you need to learn, you need to say it's necessary more information because sometimes the people start the blindness now and never thought in these opportunities to people with disabilities and assistive technologies. So we need to say, oh, there is voiceover, there is a lot of things, and it's amazing. So I think it's not only
Cecilia,
about
do you have
professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have, Cecilia, in Brazil that you teach each other, that you tell from one blind person to the other, what are the tricks or what did you find and you can use?
Now we are doing a group of psychotherapy in Retina São Paulo. And in this group, I put 2 classes of psychoeducation. It's like a psychotherapy, but
Yeah.
learning people about law, about rights, and about technology. But it's only a initial thing. But the rehabilitation center here need to do this, but a lot of people don't have access of the rehabilitation.
Yeah.
So I try to do this share the information about technology because I think technology changed life a lot.
Yeah.
I remember until I was 12, I don't know any technology, and I suffer a lot because everybody needs to read for me, needs to write for me, needs to do a lot of things for me. And now I can read and write and do a lot of things, and it's amazing. It's independence that all technology goes for us.
Yeah, at this point, just let me add something,
Yeah.
which I think it's important, because all these technologies are not available for everyone in the world at this moment. People from Africa, people from Asia, blind people from these continents maybe do not have these opportunities we are talking to. So it's not only something related with these three different generations we are here. It's something as well related to the different region in the world you are living. So the world it's not equal, and we should think about it, and maybe we should try to make accessible this new technology for all the people, because I imagine people living in these parts of the world, and maybe their lives are too different than ours.
Yeah, just mentioning something. You're talking about assistive technology and the use of it, and how we should share our experience when using it. We do a lot of that on our group, our Stargot group here in Brazil, all the time. I would say half of the conversations that are on the group are about assistive like apps, different technologies, sharing experiences, and sometimes people. And that's because we're talking on that, and I would like to listen to your perspectives. We see, I see actually people sharing, I'm using this app or that app, and sometimes they are using different devices or gadgets. And some of them are more accessible than others, that you were mentioning, like some are really expensive and some are free on your phone. And there's a lot of discussions around what should they be using and how should they be using that, etc. And I would like to hear from what, like in your real life, in your daily life, what do you actually use in terms of assistive technology, and how do you use apps? Do you use any gadgets or any different devices? What actually do you use, and for what?
Lots of things. I don't know, Christina and Cecilia, but for example, I'm almost blind. I cannot read in my laptop computer, so I use a screen reader. I use NVDA, for example, and I can do lots of things because I work with the keyboard. I do not use the mouse since maybe 5, 6, 7 years, you know. So now I manage my laptop computer using the screen reader and using the keyboard. If I talk about, for example, watching TV with the new platforms with content, you know, audiovisual contents, now I need them to be described, and I look for movies or series which are audio described for me. Here in Spain, we are really lucky, and lots of platform, Netflix, HBO, Disney, some of them, you know, they are audio described, and as well some different TV channels as well do that. We need to improve in this you know, topic. I think there are still lots of things to do, but I use them. I use this audio description, you know, and for sure, if we talk about radio, I listen to the radio. Then there is no problem with that. But I talking about my smartphone, my iPhone, you know, lots of apps, you know, starting for social media. Yesterday we were talking social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you know, WhatsApp. They are accessible for us, and using VoiceOver, for example, I can manage lots of these apps. But not only that. For example, imagine I representing FARPE, and I travel a lot, and maybe I'm in a hotel room. And when I am in a hotel room, I go to the bathroom and I need to know which bottle is the gel, which one is the shampoo, you know, something simple. And I have to use my smartphone. I have to use an app to see, to know which bottle is the gel, which bottle is gel sour, you know, and which one is the shampoo to use it, for example. And these apps are present in my daily life, always,
And which
24
apps do
hours
you
a day.
use for that? For identifying the shampoo and the other one?
For example, Singai, which is
Cool.
a Microsoft app.
Mm-hmm.
I can use it, for example, to know, for example, the currency, you know, the notes, you know, it's a really useful application, for example, as well. I use applications for example, let me think about, because I'm using all the day them. And for example, for the transport, for the public transport here in Murcia, I use, for example, to navigate in the street, Google Maps from Apple, and even, for example, apps like Lazarillo, which is from Chile, and it's really good application, free application to navigate in the street. There are some others which are not free. You have to pay to use them. For example, Blind Square or some others. But there are lots of applications. My mobile phone is full of them. Applications for reading. Here in Spain, we've got a national organization of blind people, and they have implemented some different application with movies, with audio description, and with books, audio reading books, you know, and I can continue reading with this application. And we can have, for example, books from the university, audio reading books using this application. There are some other applications, voice reader, scan reader. If you receive a letter and you cannot read it because it is on paper, I can use a voice scan, and I can put this letter in my device, in my smartphone, in my iPhone. You know, lots of applications all the day, always 24 hours a day.
Mm-hmm. I think we have so many small applications in our phone. I have also, I think, about 50, 60, but really using, I'm about 10. I would use, especially we have a system here in Switzerland, which is called e-kiosk, that means electronic newsstand, where we have about 50 newspapers and illustrations accessible, that we can read them every day. This, I think, is an important one for me, but also the navigations. But I am also using in my daily life, I would say more low-tech. I would use, for instance, a speaking balance. Sometimes you need to know if you really have increased or lost weight. I also have speaking balance for the kitchen. I'm living alone, so I have to cook. And sometimes you need to weigh things to know how much it is. I would also use something special to know if my roast is really the temperature I want it to have. And then I need also a color detector and a light detector, because it's much quicker to use it if you just click and then you know what it is, than to take the app, search the app, find the app, etc. And especially color detection is not extremely reliable, because it depends on the light.
Yeah.
But I would suggest that we make a list of what we are using and put then this together with our experiences.
Yeah, share all the apps that are useful for people.
Yeah, but what I would point out, as a blind person, still I am using Braille. I have a small Braille printer where I can make some adaptive strips. So I would write on it, that's pepper, that's salt, and put it on the respective pot of salt or of pepper or what it is. I would print, if I travel, in Braille, my schedule, my flights, the most important phone numbers, because electronic, it's nice, but you might lose on your electricity and you don't have enough power anymore and you can't recharge, then you are completely lost. So I always the feeling that if you have high technology, it's good, but for the important things, you need low-key technology. So for instance, the cane, it's absolutely important, but if it breaks, you can take an umbrella. Nobody will know that's a white cane, but it will serve.
Yeah. In my case, I haven't learned Braille, you know, I haven't still learned. I think, you know, I don't know if it is useful for me.
I would
maybe,
encourage you.
As you say, yeah. You know,
maybe. When I look at, I can't tell it here because there is nobody else here, but on my computer, I have in Braille the most important number of my credit card. I have my miles and more number on it, and have my other number, which is important. I have a number on it in Braille.
Yeah.
So if I need it, I can quickly just with the finger, and I have it.
Davi, I learned Braille during the pandemic. I learned it. I had like, I think 4 or 5 classes, and I study a lot by myself. I don't have a Braille printer. I only have the reglette, which is like really writing for hands. I would say that I still need a lot of practice in terms of like really like knowing how to read it fast, but it has proved useful for me in many situations. I'm not like Christina yet, who has everything on Braille on my house. This is something that I'm planning to do. I'm rebuilding a lot of parts on my house, and I'm also introducing a lot of like this is what they call intelligent houses with the lamps and the Alexa, which is helping me a lot. So I'm in the process of improving on this area. But Braille has proven useful for me in so many situations, sometimes even inside lifts, to go up and down to some place, or to identify a quick number in a certain situation that I don't know. Up then I put Braille and I know.
I think maybe I don't know if if I could learn Braille, if I will be able, but there is one situation when I always think about it. It's when I am in a hotel and I have to take the elevator, the lift, you know, and there are lots of elevators. Most of them use the Braille numbers to help you. And I'm lost in this case. I have to count the numbers, you know, because I do not know Braille.
So next time we see each other, I will teach you that.
Okay.
Because 10 numbers that we can do in half an hour.
Okay. And Braille, it's like the system, it's so amazing, so beautiful that you're gonna get in love with it. It's a smart, it's a beautiful logic.
Cecilia, do you use Braille?
Yeah, I use Braille. I use the same things that uses. I use VoiceOver, is the screen reader of iPhone. I use so much voice ring scanner to become the paper in something that I can read is OCR. I use Seeing Eyes sometimes. What more? One day I want to have a electronic cane. I think this is amazing. And I use Braille. I use Braille to read the medications, to know which medication I'm taking. And I use Braille in lifts, but I don't have a good speed to read Braille. So if I will read a book, I can't, but read some words, some numbers. It's very good to me. And my credit card is in Braille too. This is very nice.
Yeah, mine as well.
Yeah, this is good. But I think only this, I know there's a lot of different types of apps, but I think if you have the screen reader, all the apps will work. Of course, if the app is accessible, but it's very nice because I can use everything with the voiceover word.
Esta mañana también
Very
entrevistando a
good.
los Mira José Ángel Antelo, presidente de Vox en la región de Murcia. Tras cerrar el acuerdo ayer por la tarde para garantizar la gobernabilidad
Javier, I think
Please. Hay
Yeah.
gente que tiene el micro encendido. Sorry, because using Spanish.
Of course.
Hay alguien que tiene el micro encendido, por favor, apagarlo, ¿vale? Gracias. Thank you. Let's go. Sorry.
Continue, Cecilia.
Now, I think Braille, it's the symbol of being blind. And that's why usually people are hesitant to use it. But just to mark things and to have short things to remember, also when you have to give a talk, just the keywords, it's so helpful. And I don't think that we need to expect that we should be able to read books. But in my long life, I learned that becoming blind, I became a social analphabet because I heard all the things just by the hearing. And then sometimes I had no clue how it's spelled. And for that, usually it's much better if you have the picture in your fingers with the Braille.
It shows us that it shows us, I think, Christina and Cecilia, that during our life, our side is changing, and we are continuously adapting to new situations. First of all, we didn't use screen reader, nothing at all, you know, and time by time, you know, you have to use a screen reader. You have to use a Zoom tool to see your computer. You have to use apps. It's there is a moment in your life you have to use a cane, which is a really difficult moment. For example, for me, it was a really hard moment in my life. But I think at the end, we are able to manage ourselves. And when you learn the cane is useful for you, for example, then it's your friend for life. You know, you do not let it anywhere. You don't forget it anywhere. It's part of you, for example, you know, and it is not a new technology, but it's something, you know, it's a different way of life, you know.
But I think it's very good. But both of you, Cecilia, or all three of you, do you use also sighted help? Because I feel when there are situations where I really need sighted assistance. So if I clean my apartment, I can clean it well. But I'm not sure if I have seen really every spider web. I'm not climbing up to each corner to feel if there is a spider web or not.
Yeah.
So for this kind of thing, there are, or sometimes when I'm going to a completely new part, I'm depending on sighted help.
Yeah, the spiders' webs, they are definitely something I don't see.
Yeah, I don't see, but my visitors see it.
Yeah, but it's funny because I have someone at home with me, and my husband normally he likes to enjoy seeing the spiders, so he doesn't tell me there is spider webs. So sometimes my father arrives home and says, "What is happening in your house?"
In my case, my wife or my daughters have to help in these situations, you know, because for sure we try to be as independent as we can, but there are something some things that it's impossible to do if you do not see, you know. But it's a different way of life.
Yes,
But
Cecilia.
And as well, there are and we have to learn about it, because there are so many funny situations that we live, you know.
Yeah.
And this must to be told as well, because there are so many funny situations with your family, with your friends, and I think the most important thing is be honest with all of people around you, because when during the process, when you are losing your life, your sight, you know, when the condition is going on, you know, there is a moment that you know, you do not know if you have to tell others your condition, your situation, you know. And there are so many embarrassing situations, and I think when you tell everybody that you have a IRD, you are living with an IRD, which is your situation, how the condition goes on, all these kind of things. And when you are with these people, going out, when you are doing any activity, anything, you are more comfortable, and you can even love of yourself, you know, because as I told before, there are so many funny situations that we live all the day, you know. So I think we have to learn about it as well.
I always found it very difficult to ask for help. I know it theoretically that I have to do it, but I still sometimes I just avoid to do things because I need to ask somebody to help me. And I wonder, Cecilia, you told before that when you were around 12, you had always to ask people to help, to read, to write, etc. Did this give you more easiness to ask for help, or how is it for you today?
Good question. I always ask for help for everybody. Sometimes I'm a little afraid because I don't know if the person wants to help me, but I always ask because I learned that it's humans is better than technology. So of course I need independence. I need to do things alone. I need to work. But sometimes if there is a person and the person sees, why I don't ask a help. I always ask for my husband, sometimes for my parents. A lot of friends help me. And a funny thing I thought when Davi is talking about the embarrassing things we live. One day I need to attend a patient in my clinic, and my husband was sleeping. So I need to go out, and I don't want to, hey, woke up. I want to know if my shoes is okay or not. And I have the same shoes, two shoes is the same, are the same, equal, but different colors of the. And I thought, okay, I will not wake up him, poor guy, so I will put my shoes. But one foot is white and other is green. And I went out, go to the clinic, and I was attending and my patient, and this patient has cyst. And the patient said to me, Cecilia, one foot is white and the other is green. I said, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. And that's my story.
You should have tell him it's on fashion now. You know.
Exactly.
But you know, exactly the same story happened to me once when I was young. And from that point, I never buy any more shoes, two in different colors because of that. But the same happened to me. But I was not quick enough to say it's the new fashion.
Yeah, for sure. You know, this funny, not this, in this case, not embarrassing. These funny things are usually happens to us. And
No,
we
in the
have,
moment I was very embarrassed. No, I only see it
Me too.
retrospectively as funny, and I think that's typical of these stories.
Yeah, for sure. And
That
there is,
happens very often to me to buy, for instance, because I have Stargardt, so I have some peripheral vision that it's still okay. And sometimes I go to the supermarket and I like to, and sometimes I ask for some support, but sometimes I just want to go by my own and see how it will be. So I think that was like last week. My husband, I was getting out to buy some groceries, and he said, "Can you buy like a specific snack?" And I say, "Yeah, of course, no problem at all. I can find it and buy it. I don't need support for that. I'm the super blind person who doesn't need support." Then I bought the snack, but I bought the worst flavor ever. And I got home and everything was normal, okay. And when I opened it, the smelling was so bad. I was like, "You bought this flavor. This is the worst flavor ever." I said, "I'm sorry. This is the adventure of living with a blind woman."
Yeah. Our
Yeah.
life is plenty of these situations, and it's full of these situations, and there are some others which are, I think, worst. You know, I don't know you, because when I am at home, for example, I do not use the cane when I'm at home, obviously, you know, but sometimes I hit with a door or with a window and on my head, and then you feel, wow, you feel you are the worst in the world, you know, you feel really bad, really, you know, it's these moments for me are really hard, you know, or when or if you are on the street and you hit with a tree, with you know, with something, with a traffic light, with, oh, it's this is embarrassing and really hard situations for me, which still happens, and I'm sure they are going to happen in the future. And I try to do the things well. I try to use my cane in an appropriate way, but sometimes, you know, when I go to the university every day, I can't avoid sometimes being thinking about something. You know, you are walking in the street and you are thinking, your head is thinking in something, you know, and you forget you are blind, and you lose the attention you have to pay in the way you are doing. And sometimes I hit with something, or with something, you know, with someone, or with something, you know, and oh, I feel really bad when it happens to me. I do not know if it happens to you.
Yeah, of course.
Because for me, it's really hard situations. They are really hard situations.
No, but it happens to me, of course, just in normal life, even with attention, because at least here in Switzerland, traffic starts to be much more dangerous because we have so many e-bikes, and we have now an increasing number of cars with electric cars.
Yeah,
you don't hear them. And this is much more difficult. So it happens that I hurt myself, and then I must say I have plasters with me all the time because I'm on anticoagulants. So if I hurt myself, it bleeds very quickly, very largely. And then I feel ashamed and I can't help it. And I think that's everybody happening too. And I have here really the situation between my intellect, which tells me, don't do so. It can happen. It's not your fault. You shouldn't be embarrassed. But my heart, I'm ashamed.
Yeah.
And this conflict, I don't think that it's so easy to
you cannot
take.
control your feelings.
Yeah.
You know, and you feel really bad when it happens.
And sometimes I think even now living for 70 or at least 60 years with visual impairment consciously, sometimes I'm angry about it. And sometimes I'm living very well, have a successful life, everything. But sometimes I think, wow, why? It's too much.
Yeah. I
And I
think people
think these
with
kind of feelings, we have to accept that they are there.
I think blind
And I
people
don't know
or
what the psychologist is saying here.
yeah. I think blind people or people living with low vision, I think we should be born at the moment with 7 lives, the same as cats,
Yeah.
you know, because electrical cars, e-bikes, all these kind of things in the street are really dangerous for us. You know, we are unable to detect these cars or these bikes, and it's really dangerous for us. And I don't know if in Switzerland, but here in Spain, these bikes they let them everywhere.
Yeah, same here.
You can be walking in the pavement, and maybe you took with your cane this kind of bikes, you know, and it's really dangerous.
Yeah. So in Switzerland now the cities are starting to take action, because it's not only bothering the blind people, but we did a lot of lobbying for it, so that now, because they can know from the electronic system who had rented the bike before, or the trottinette, and then they will find the people if they put it not on the place. So they will get the fine of about 100 francs, which is a lot.
Okay.
I just want to say this is an important thing. In the group of psychotherapy for blind people, I always say this. We need to accept the condition, but accept the condition is not how everything is good, everything is nice, or don't see it's okay every day. It's not about it. It's about, okay, sometimes you are happy, sometimes you are sad, sometimes you live a discrimination, sometimes you are very angry because you want to do something and you can't. So it's accept your feelings and live with this, because we know nothing in the world it's perfect. We always have some conditions that you don't want to experience, but we will. So we accept this. So accept is live with this, living with accepting your condition, but knowing some days you are not good and this is okay too. Because sometimes it's very difficult.
Yeah. I think that's very important.
I'm just taking a look here. We have a couple more minutes, but not a lot. And it's been great to hear you. I can stay here forever. But
it's the time.
Yeah, it's for me it's 8 already. 1 minute to 8.
May I ask a question, Marina, to the ladies?
Of course.
Because Cecilia was just mentioning discrimination. But we as women, I think we still live also some just female discrimination in the job hunting, getting the career done. How is it for you? For me, as an old person, I really lived this double discrimination of being a woman, of being not accepted so much in the career path, etc. But how is it for you, young women?
Christine, I think the best time to be a woman is 2023.
Yeah, of course. But do you feel such? Yeah, it's now a hidden discrimination.
Yes, absolutely. I feel not only the work career, I feel everywhere.
I feel everywhere.
To you.
I feel everywhere. I think, of course, 2023 is the best time to be a woman, I agree. But I think when you are a woman and you have a visual impairment, sometimes the people think you are, I don't know, a child, or you can't be married, you can't have a baby,
children.
You can't.
But it's not. So only one thing. It doesn't only happen in that it doesn't only happen for women. For men, it's the same. I go to a hotel with my wife, and when they saw I'm blind, or I go to the hospital with my wife, any place, you know, and people in the hospital or in the hotel or anywhere, they talk to my wife. Yeah, I'm blind, but I can understand everything. You can talk to me,
I can
not
speak.
to my wife, for example. Yeah.
But you're not discriminated because you are a man. You're discriminated because you are blind.
Yeah.
Whereas we very often are discriminated because we are a woman.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's complex.
It's complex.
But it is improving. I hope so.
I hope so. I hope so. I fought for this my life.
And Christina, this topic that you mentioned, when we are facing sometimes multiple discrimination, put one on top of other, there's a nice concept, if someone would like to check out after, that it's intersectionality. It's the idea that we all are made of different things that made who we are. So we are actually, each one of us are unique human beings. And because of our ethnicity, our religion, our gender, our sexual orientation, if we have a disability or not, and so far, we will face different barriers, and we will have different resources to deal with those barriers as well. But talking about those strategies and connecting with the points you were making about sometimes you feel shame or angry or sad, to move towards the end of our conversation, I would like to hear from all three of you. Besides the use of assistive technology, what are the other strategies that you have developed over the time to overcome situations when you feel shame, or when you are afraid, or when you are angry because of being blind? And how much the developing of this kind of resilience or different strategies that you might have, emotional strategies or practical strategies, I'm not sure, how this has actually changed their life because you're blind? Cecilia, you want to start?
Oh my God, this is a complex question.
It's a complex question.
Yeah, but I think psychotherapy, of course, helps a lot. But I understood, for me, that the science of the purpose of the life is love. So love everybody and help everybody, and maybe try to do the world better for the new generations. And sometimes the people say, but you are dreaming. It's impossible. You need to think in other things. But I try, because if I improve as a person, and if I learn how to love people, maybe I can create something, and the other people can create together with me something. So it's very simple. Sometimes the people say, oh, Cecilia, oh my God, thinking other things. But for me, it's the sense of life. So it's love everybody, and live with IRD just show me that everybody needs everybody. You need to do connections to improve your life. If you don't share experiences, if you don't have friends, have people that you love, have people that you help, for me, you don't create a life with a connection. And it's very easy when you have people to help you, and you can help the people, and this for me is the best thing. So what I learned is I always need people, and the people always need me, and this is okay. So this is the best thing in the life, and this is love. So for me, it's about it.
Related to your question, Marina, and connected with what Cecilia has just said, I think we live in a society, you know, we are not living alone. And for me, there is one word which is wonderful. Some of you maybe have already listened to me says that the word help, the verb help, is a really wonderful verb, you know. But to help someone, you need to know what happens. And I think it's something that maybe all of us and maybe all of the people who is listening to us in this meeting usually do in his own lives. You know, it's explain how are our conditions, explain what is retinitis pigmentosa, explain how it progresses, explain, tell the people the tools to understand how is your life, and try to do your best, try to do what you want, and try to live, engage with all the people around you, and try to do what you want. For me, this is the most important thing. And of course, there are lots of barriers. There are lots of situations, disability in these situations, you know, everywhere, every time, you know, but this is the life. Because, for example, there are some people who cannot attend to this meeting because they do not speak English or they do not understand English. And they can't. And maybe they would like to participate, but they can't. And in the other languages the same, and in other situations the same. I think the most important thing is listen to others, try to know what happens, and try to help other people using the right tools, using the right words, all things, because knowledge and help, I think they are engaged, they need each other to work. And I think it's they are the tools that I use in my own life, with my family, with others. I strongly do not like that people regret for me because I'm blind. I can't stand that. I'm blind, of course. I would like to see, yes, for sure. But as you say at the beginning, Marina, everyone is different. We are unique human beings, and all of us are different. What we have to do as a society is try to involve everywhere, try to adapt all the situations to be possible for everyone. That's we are, and that's what, for example, Retina International is working on, in try to do a best society, try to do it more inclusive to everyone, because all of us live together in this world.
When I'm coming to your question about how my resilience was built up, I think one of the secrets was my childhood. I grew up with 4 siblings. 2 of them had also RP. So that meant visual impairment in my family was not the exception. We were the majority. So that meant my parents hadn't the time to pity us too much and to overprotect us too much. But it also was a basis of learn from each other how to handle things and to live as normally as possible. And I think if parents are listening here, at the basis that my parents believed in us, that we would make our lives, build such a strong basis that all 3 of us, which are visually impaired, but also my sighting siblings, had a very good basis to then live their adult life successfully. And growing up with peers, I learned in the 80s about the independent living movement and their peer counseling, and also the slogan, we are the experts of our diseases and not the professionals. That really took to me, and I learned so much things from peers in the Retina International community from everywhere, but also peers here in Switzerland, and also from peers which are not visually impaired, from my friends, which I have, and also people. And I think this also told me to see opportunities when I got them and to take the opportunities. And I think it was reciprocal. So because I love people and I still love them and I like to listen to them, that they also presented me with opportunities and possibilities when I really needed it and which I could take it. So that the result was that I had a full professional life without one day of unemployment. I went into normal retirement. And of course, this gave me a good feeling. But that was not only possible because I had a good education and I was able to take new challenges and opportunities. And I think being visually impaired is not always funny, really. And I would have done very well without that. But in the way, it keeps me young because it needs that I adapt from day to day because the world is moving on. And I think this is one of the secrets that we can take out of it. But I think also we shouldn't forget, not everybody has the luck to be a person being basically optimistic. Some of us are basically pessimistic. And for them, life is very hard. And we have to listen to them and not to show that we 3 or 4 brilliant, visually impaired and blind people are the example for everybody. That everybody has to go it's his or her own way. And sometimes people are also breaking. And if we can help them, it would be good. But for that, we really have to be here for each other. And if we are the privileged ones, we have to have an open heart, an open eye, and also an open ear for the others that are not so privileged.
I think that's a wonderful way of a wonderful message for ending this session. Guys, girls, ladies, sirs, brilliant. It was amazing to hear you. And this final message, Christina, absolutely. We should all have open hearts and empathy.
Can I add something here?
Sure.
Sorry, I'm not very familiar with the iPad, so I'm trying to switch on my camera. Not sure if that works.
Can you also present yourself, Leo? Because I recognize your voice, but
Yeah,
people don't know you.
Thanks for recognizing me at all. Okay, I'm Leo. I'm 50 years old. I live in Amsterdam. Last year, I had the opportunity to go to Iceland to meet a lot of people in the youth council. That was an amazing experience. I'm sorry, I'm not able to turn on my camera. I'm not sure why it doesn't work, but I tried. But anyway, what I wanted to add to the lovely words that were just spoken, I used to be very pessimistic. I live with RP. Mm-hmm. I've been night blind all my life, and it's getting worse and it's getting worse. I know, and that's one of the things that really terrified me, the thought of turning blind. That was the thing that really scared me the most. And I became very pessimistic over the years. Mm-hmm. And the thing that really, really changed my life was meeting other people with RP. Mm-hmm. I went to Cuba in 1998, and I know it didn't work physically, but mentally it made me so strong. Mm-hmm. Meeting other people with RP, to know that you're no longer alone. That was really a life changer for me. And last year, meeting all of these wonderful people at the Retina conference in Iceland, that was also a great experience for me to listen to the inspiring stories, how people are studying. And yes, it's more difficult for us than for others, but that being a community that really, really changed me.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you are not alone, Leo. You know.
Yeah, I know. I know that.
I understand how you feel. I felt in my life the same, and I'm sure Christina, Cecilia, or Marina, all of us here in this meeting, you know. But you are not alone. You have all of our support. All of us are you know, I understand it's a difficult situation for sure. Yeah.
Yes,
But you know, it's I would like to say not to be pessimistic, you know, but we sometimes feel like we sometimes feel pessimistic. But you have to think that you are able to do lots of things. You can do lots of things. You have now met lots of people in Reykjavik, in the Retina International Youth Council, and listening to you, I think it's worth the Retina International Youth Council worth only because that, you know, if we can help you, if you feel our support, if you do not feel alone, I think only for one, you know, I'm sure more people feel like you, and we support more people like you. But only for one person, I think it's worth. Don't you think, Marina?
Yeah, absolutely. It's about being together and about everything that you mentioned.
Yeah, and supporting each other. Yeah.
It's a fantastic person.
Do not
best
hesitate
Amsterdam
to
guide
contact
ever.
us. Yeah. Do not hesitate to contact us, Leo. I would be really happy to keep in touch with you.
Yeah, great. The irritating thing is that I don't use social media anymore. I'm getting really frustrated by them because my sight is getting worse and I'm no longer able to use a mobile phone, basically. So I'm trying to use an iPad at the moment. And one of the other things
we can change that. You know, we can work on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the voiceover keeps making me frustrating. I'm losing the ability to read.
I'm going to help you, because at the beginning maybe it seems frustrating, but you know, we can talk after the meeting. You know, I'll tell Marina to give you my email, and we can keep in touch and we can change this. You know, for sure.
Well, you're on.
Leo, do you speak German?
Excuse me?
Leo, do you speak German?
I can understand it. I can speak it a little bit, but I'm more comfortable in English.
Yeah, I can understand. Just because I'm in an initiative, self-help initiative, which is called Apple School. Yeah. And on the website of it, we have a lot of videos and ways how to learn to use it and to use it best. It's apfelschule.ch. So, Marina, you can give him also my address and we can talk.
You know.
Okay, I'm already sending you your WhatsApp.
Yeah. I also got a guide for beginners to use voiceover. It's in Spanish, but I can translate into English and send it to you.
I already have it. I also have someone in Holland who tried to teach me it, to try to teach me voiceover, but turning it on and off when I want to, instead of reading emails out loud where everyone's present, stuff like that. I'm just not handy enough with it yet.
Yeah, but don't worry about that, Leo. That's normal. I always said the most difficult is with voiceover to take a phone call and to end a phone call.
Yeah, exactly.
It's silly, but that's the most difficult.
Yeah, I know. It's last year.
It needs a little bit stubbornness.
Yeah. One of the things I also wanted to add is the way I use my PC. I'm sure most of you already are doing it if you still have some residual light left in your eyes. But I'm using the high contrast themes, both in the iPad and in the and on my PC. That really keeps me getting my job. It makes sure that I'm keeping my job, because I can no longer see in white backgrounds with black letters. After 2 hours, I'm completely exhausted. So the black backgrounds and the yellow letters, that really helps me. Go through it.
Yeah. Most of us did the same in the past. Yeah, using this background. Yeah.
Yes. Let us talk individually to you, Leo, because I think Marina needs to end.
Yeah, I know.
The session.
I just wanted to make sure that, I mean, it's being a community, and I'm not good at with social media, but meeting you guys in person And meeting you people here online, that really makes a difference to me.
Great.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
let's go next year
One...
to Ireland on June.
Yeah. Oh,
For the next Retina International Conference, right? So we can all meet together.
I'll be there.
We'll meet there in person, Leo.
Oh, great.
And can I just say, Marina, as well, sorry, Avril here, just very briefly, that for some of the points that were raised today would be really a great opportunity to be able to address those in more detail in Dublin next year at our Congress. And what would be great is if anyone here today has ideas about topics for not only the Retina youth, but I think more general discussions, because, I'm certainly not a youth and by any stretch, but so what is being said is relevant, because
you're still youth.
Yeah, in my brain.
Yeah. all of us.
Just let us know what you would like to discuss, and we can go about setting that up to make it as inclusive as possible and maximize the opportunity of being together. So I think that would be great. So just let us know. Thank you.
Yeah, and a good way of letting us know is for you to click on the link I sent on the chat earlier to give us some feedback about the conference.
Oh, nice.
There's a very short feedback form. It's only not going to take more than 3 minutes. It's really, really short, and it will help us a lot to improve for the future. So if you can, it's on the chat.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Christina, thank you very much. Cecilia, thank you very much. David, thank you very much. Laura, thank you very much. Leo, I love to hear your voice again. I need to go to Amsterdam and not broke my right foot so we can enjoy it more. Because last time I was in Amsterdam, I had an accident on the stairs.
It's a really nice city. Really nice city.
Yeah.
But people driving bikes are a bit crazy there.
Yeah. you use your cane as a combat. It's more like combat to make sure that everyone stays away from you.
It's walk in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stay tuned because we are coming back for the Spanish and the Portuguese session. I hope to see some of you in a couple of hours again. And that's it. Thank you very much. Laura, over to you.
Yeah, as Marina said, we'll have our Spanish session at 5 Central European time, followed by the Portuguese session at 7 Central European time. So I hope to see you guys there. We'll see you guys soon.